In the deepest corners of memory, childhood often hides chilling tales, echoes of the past that still haunt. Welcome to a journey into the unspoken, the unseen, the unforgotten. We often regard childhood as a time of innocence, of carefree exploration and joyful discovery. But what if I told you, nestled within those memories, there exist stories that defy this idyllic image, stories that are chillingly real, stories that have left an indelible mark on the psyche of those who've lived them. As we journey through the corridors of memory, we will encounter tales of fear and mystery, tales that have been carried from the cradle to adulthood. These aren't your typical ghost stories whispered around a campfire, oh no. These are stories that were lived, breathed, experienced in the harsh light of day and the eerie silence of the night. Our childhood fears, they're unique, aren't they? They're more than just the monster under the bed or the boogeyman in the closet. They're that strange figure that only you could see, that whispering voice that only you could hear, that chilling presence that only you could feel. These fears, they may seem irrational, illogical to the adult mind, but to a child they are as real as the world around them. And what's even more intriguing is how these fears, these experiences shape us. They weave themselves into our personality, our character, our very being. They make us who we are. They are the unseen fears, the silent storytellers of our past. But enough preamble. It's time we pulled back the curtain. It's time we shone a light into those deepest corners of memory. Brace yourselves as we delve into stories that blur the line between the innocent world of childhood and the eerie realm of the supernatural. Stories that will make you question. Stories that will make you wonder. Stories that will make you fear. Brace yourselves as we delve into stories that blur the line between the innocent world of childhood and the eerie realm of the supernatural. Our first tale comes from a seemingly normal neighborhood, where a child's innocent playtime turned into a chilling encounter. Imagine being a young kid, living in a house that echoed with laughter and joy, a place of comfort, a sanctuary. But what if that sanctuary was invaded by a presence you could not understand, a shadowy figure that lingered, always just out of sight? This was the reality for our young protagonist. A child of curiosity and courage, they often saw a silhouette, a figure, a presence, an ethereal form, shifting and swirling like smoke in the wind. It was always there, in the corner of their eye, a fleeting glimpse in the mirror, a swift movement in the shadows. The figure did not speak, it did not touch, it simply existed. The child, though initially frightened, grew accustomed to this spectral presence. It was almost as if they had a silent companion, a shadow friend. However, their parents dismissed these sightings as the product of an overactive imagination, a common trait in children. But the child knew better. They knew the figure was real as the chill that ran down their spine every time it appeared. Then one day a shocking discovery was made. It was uncovered that their cozy home was built over an old forgotten graveyard, a place where hundreds of souls were laid to rest, a place that had seen countless stories of life and death. Suddenly the shadowy figure took on a whole new meaning. Was it a guardian of the departed, a lost soul, or something more sinister? From that day forward, the child's home felt different. Every creak, every whisper of the wind, every flicker of a shadow seemed to hold a deeper, darker significance. The shadowy figure, once a curious anomaly, now became a chilling reminder of the house's morbid past. A tale that reminds us, even in the safety of our homes, we are never truly alone. Venture with us now into a dense woodland where a child's adventure unfolded into a haunting experience. In a small rural town, a child of tender age, let's call them Jamie, was drawn to the vast expanse of the woods, a place of mystery and intrigue. One sunny afternoon, the child set out, armed only with their youthful curiosity and a heart full of courage. But as the hours passed, the woods grew darker, and a sudden realization struck. Jamie was lost. The chirping of the birds was replaced by an eerie silence, pierced only by the rustling of leaves underfoot. Then, faint at first, a whisper emerged from the depths of the woods. The words were indistinct, yet they had a soothing cadence that calmed Jamie's racing heart. It was as if the whisper was guiding them, leading them through the labyrinth of towering trees and shadowy paths. Following the whispers, Jamie found their way back to the safety of home, just as the first stars began to twinkle in the twilight sky. Weeks later, a chilling revelation surfaced. The whispers Jamie had heard were eerily similar to the voice of a child who had gone missing in those same woods years ago. The child was never found, and their voice had since become a whispered legend in the town, a haunting melody carried by the wind through the whispering woods. What was it that guided Jamie that fateful day? Was it the echo of a lost soul, forever bound to the woods, reaching out to guide another child to safety? Or was it just the imagination of a frightened child, manifesting comfort in a moment of terror? We may never know, but one thing is certain: the woods whisper stories, tales of the past that echo in the present, and sometimes, if you listen closely, you might just hear a voice from beyond, a voice that refuses to be silenced by time or death. An uncanny incident that leaves us questioning, can the voices of the past reach out to the living? We end our journey with a tale of an unusual friendship, a bond that transcended the boundaries of the visible world. Imagine being a child once more, with an ever-active imagination, where every corner of your home is a new world, every shadow a hidden creature, every echo a secret whisper. In this world, a young boy named Leo found solace in an imaginary friend, a playmate he called Charlie. Charlie was a constant companion, always ready for a new adventure, always there to comfort Leo when the night became too dark or the silence too intense. Yet, as Leo grew older, Charlie remained the same, a little boy with jet black hair and piercing blue eyes, always dressed in a faded red sweater and worn-out jeans. A constant in a world that was changing too fast for Leo. Years later, as Leo was packing up his childhood home, he stumbled upon a dusty box of old family photographs. Among the sepia-toned memories, he discovered a picture that made his heart skip a beat. There, in a faded red sweater and worn-out jeans, was a young boy with jet black hair and piercing blue eyes. The likeness was undeniable. It was Charlie. Leo learned that the boy was a previous tenant's child who had met a tragic end in the very house he grew up in. The realization sent chills down his spine. Was Charlie just a figment of his imagination, or was he something more? A spirit, maybe, seeking companionship in a lonely world? Such questions remain unanswered. Yet this tale serves as a reminder of the enigmatic nature of childhood, the mysterious realm of the unseen, and the uncanny ability of children to sense things beyond our understanding. A tale that blurs the line between imagination and reality, reminding us that sometimes children see more than we think. As we step away from these chilling tales, we are left to ponder the mysteries of the human mind, the shadows it can cast, and the fear it can conjure. The echoes of childhood, they reverberate, don't they? They linger, reminding us of the fears we once faced, the shadows we once hid from, and the whispers we once heard. In the unseen fears, we saw how a child's imagination can transform the familiar into the terrifying. A simple family home, once a haven, became a playground for unseen horrors. The fear was palpable, the terror real, all born from the depths of a child's mind. The echoes of this tale remind us that fear is often a creation of our own making. Then, we journeyed into the story of the shadowy figure, a silhouette, a phantom, a figment that danced on the edge of reality, causing a child to question the safety of their own bedroom. This tale showed us that sometimes our fears are not merely figments of our imagination but are rooted in our perception of reality. The whispering woods took us into a realm where the natural world became unnatural, where whispers carried on the wind held ominous messages. The line between reality and imagination blurred, creating a chilling landscape of fear. The echoes of this story whisper a warning about the power of suggestion and the fear that can take root in an unguarded mind. In The Unseen Playmate, we discovered how a child's imaginary friend can turn into an unseen terror, a chilling reminder of the line between innocence and fear. The echoes of this tale serve a stark reminder of the haunting power of the unseen. Remember, sometimes the most haunting tales are the ones we carry within us, in the deep, dark corners of our own memories. Fear, like a shadow, can follow us long after we've outgrown the childhood nightmares. So, as we journey forward, let's not forget the echoes of our past, for they shape the stories we tell and the fears we face.